Hello everyone, this is Snowbird Bob back in here with you today. Today is Sunday, September the 5th, 2021. And what we're going to talk about today is the precipitation chances as we head over the next couple of days. It looks like that areas across Louisiana, southeastern Texas, all the way over toward the Florida Panhandle. And actually much of the southeastern United States could pick up, maybe an inch or maybe a couple inches of rainfall because we have a tropical disturbance moving across the Gulf of Mexico over the next couple days. And then also we got this cool front because I know a lot of y'all out there across parts of Arkansas and Missouri and Tennessee seeing temperatures today only in the 70s and 80s. And we've been seeing temperatures well up into the 90s. Well, that cold front will continue moving south throughout the day today, tonight, and will bring a little bit cooler and drier air into the area as we head into our Labor Day out there. So it should make for a pretty good Labor Day across the central part of the forecast area, up into Arkansas and Oklahoma and to northern Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. But as we get down into parts of Louisiana and parts of Mississippi, central and southern Mississippi, we could see a little bit more way of showers and thunderstorms to kind of put a damper in to the Labor Day holiday tomorrow out there. I don't see any real flooding rainfall, but some of these showers and thunderstorms that do pop up tomorrow, it's going to be along this cold front and also the influx of this tropical moisture out in the Gulf of Mexico. I don't see any big time tropical system forming like a tropical storm or hurricane or anything like that as we head over the next couple of days. Now as we head throughout later on up into the week, we could see maybe a little bit of a development, and you can see this with all this tropical moisture down here out across the northern Gulf of Mexico, and it wants to take it into the Florida Panhandle, southern Georgia, and then back off to the southeast coast and to the Atlantic right here. So I don't think we'll see any kind of major development or anything right there, but we could see some pretty heavy rainfall across Florida there, and then some showers and thunderstorms across Mississippi and Louisiana, where we don't need the rainfall, over parts of that area where Hurricane Ida put a lot of rainfall down. But I don't think it's going to be that much in a way it's going to cause that much more in the way of any kind of extreme flooding or anything like that. Now, as far as the temperatures, like I said, I'm going to kind of bring this out where we have a broader spectrum of the area where we can kind of talk about, because what I want to talk about is the upcoming this week, and I also want to hit on that long term out there, because it does look like that we could actually be dealing with we're going to have a little cool down. Let me get where I'm looking at here. We're going to have a little bit of a cool down as we get into the early part of the next couple days here, but only across portions of, like you can see here, across portions of Arkansas and up into Oklahoma, up into the Ohio Valley and Tennessee, a little bit below average temperatures because of this cloud cover and rainfall. But as you can tell, as we take it over, as we start to get out into the day on Monday and Tuesday, it starts to kind of heat back up again. This is showing the temperatures departure from average, and you can see it's kind of want to kind of warm up again across Missouri and Oklahoma and Texas. But we still about average to a little bit below average down here across southern Louisiana and southern Mississippi. And these folks down here, a lot of these people still don't have electricity. It's upwards to over 500,000 people still without electricity today. And this will be a welcome sight to those people down there. And also what I want to talk about has been talking about quite some time now. You can see this as we get into that Thursday time frame. And you can see this here as we get into that Thursday time frame, especially Wednesday night into Thursday, we can see temperatures running anywhere from 5 to as much as 15 degrees below average. We could be talking about some low temperatures in the 50s to around 60, all the way down into southern and southeastern Louisiana, all of Arkansas and eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, up to Missouri, the Ohio Valley here, northern Georgia. Some of these places could see, like I said, much lower humidity and much lower dew points. And we may have highs in the 80s to around 90 degrees across parts of these areas that you see in the light blue shaded area. But if you've got lower humidity, lower dew points, drier air, it's going to feel much, much more comfortable. And this is especially going to be a welcome for the folks that's it was in the path of Hurricane Ida. As you can see down here across Louisiana and Mississippi, eastern Arkansas here, temperatures around average to even a little bit below average. But that is unfortunately not going to stick around that long, because as you can see as we head into this weekend, so we're looking at that pretty significant cool down. Let me take it back here again. That's going to be for that that Thursday and Friday and maybe Saturday time frame as we get into this weekend. But unfortunately, it looks like we're going to heat right back up again as we head into early next week and to the middle of next week. I am watching something on here. A lot of these models are showing possible tropical development, but this is, 7, 8, 9, 10 days down the road. And a lot of the model consensus is actually taking this into, you can see this little blue spot here in the western Gulf of Mexico here. It's want to take it into Texas, into Mexico, and maybe Louisiana, but that's way out there, and we got plenty of time to watch that there. But some of the operational forecast models and the ensemble members are developing a significant hurricane and bringing it, like I said, either to Texas or to Mexico. But like I said, it's only about 20% of the ensemble members of the GFS and the European model. So I wouldn't get real worried about that yet. And that, like I said, it's still over a week, 7, 10, 11 days away. So I'll definitely keep a watch on that. But I am watching something that's been showing up quite a bit on the GFS model. The European model is not quite as bullish on it. In fact, the European model on that long range is actually showing much warmer than average temperatures. But this is, if this was to take place here, this is, I'm showing you a couple of the latest GFS models. And you can see big time cool down as we head way out there. Let me back it up here. As we head way out there into that, I'd say that 12 to 16 day time frame. I know that's a long way out, but the models have been pretty, pretty consistent of showing this here. And you can see, look at this here. This is some widespread. This is the United States here. I'm kind of zooming in here into our forecast area. Now, on a lot of the latest runs for the past couple of days, the GFS model is showing that you can see here across much of the entire forecast area from Texas all the way out to the Carolinas, up into the Ohio Valley. You got this green, and in this purple shaded area, temperatures running 10 to as much as 20 degrees below average. And if that was to take place, we could see temperatures in the northern part of the forecast area. That's up in Kansas and Missouri, Indiana, Illinois, maybe Kentucky. Temperatures maybe and as we get out into that 2-week time period, we're talking about that 12 to 16 day time period. We can see temperatures in the 30s and maybe 40s all the way down to the I-40 corridor, maybe even 40s and low 50s all the way down to the I-20 corridor. And this would be this would give Oklahoma and Texas their first significant cool down of the season out there. So it's something very interesting, and we could see actually our first, we're going to see a pretty good cool down as we head into later this week, like I was saying, and Texas, Louisiana, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, eastward. Not so much for Texas and Oklahoma. You get a little drier air later this week, but if you want to get some real comfortable conditions, you'll have to move, go further towards the east into Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky. But like I said, we warm back up again as we head into later this coming weekend, and then parts of the early part of the following week, and then we could see this potential big time cool down on here. And just before I get off here, I'd like to show some of these temperatures on here. Let me blow it up a little bit. Let me go to our region a little bit. I'm just going to kind of show you kind of a snapshot of what this could actually, if this was to pan out. I mean, it's got some pretty chilly conditions. Let me back this up here. I'm going to kind of blow this in here. You can see if this was to take place, I mean, it's got, sorry about that. It's got some upper 30s to around 40 degrees across the Ozarks in northern Arkansas and southern Missouri. It's got some 30s out into Tennessee and the higher elevations of the Appalachian Mountains here. You can see, let me back this up a little bit here. You can see it's got 50s all the way down to the Gulf Coast of southern Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Even the Florida Panhandle could get in some 50s. Now this one here could actually be, let me kind of stand it back out again. This front right here would actually impact parts of Texas, Texas and Oklahoma. You can see the brunt of it. The brunt of it would be focused more toward the south central and southeastern part of the United States. But with this big of a cold front coming in, Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas would be in for a substantial cool down in that long range period out there. But like I said, the GFS model did really well last winter with a lot of that Arctic air. It's been handling the long term a lot better than the European model. I'd say for the past, at least the past 8 or 9 months. So I kind of put more weight into the GFS model, but also, like I said, the European model is showing much above average temperatures as we get out into that late 2-week time period toward we get to the end of the month out there. So, but usually on average, we start to see that big first significant cool down as we head into late part of September. That's the late part of this month. So if the GFS model comes true, it would be right about on average time where we see that first significant cool down out there, and that would really help starting the leaves start to change, especially across the northern part of the forecast area, and especially across the northern and central part of the United States there. So we'll just have to keep a watch on it. I will keep a watch on any potential tropical development as we head throughout the week. I don't think there'll be any. If there's anything, it'll be maybe a depression or a weak tropical storm that hits around the Florida Panhandle. Most of that area could see heavy rainfall, even if we don't have a tropical system. There's another chance of a tropical system that could affect parts of Texas and maybe Mexico in that 7 to 10 day period. And also we need to watch out for possible hurricane, tropical storm in that long term. But right now it's just not enough computer model guidance, and the model's not consistent enough to show that. It's nothing, no low is formed or nothing like that. So, but it is something that, we could stay aware of out there just a little bit. And then, like I said, as far as the cool downs, we get a little cooler, dry air tomorrow, warm back up on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we start to cool down again, especially across the central and east on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Warm back up again late next weekend into early next week, and then we can see that potential big cool down, the biggest cool down we've seen probably since May. So it's been quite some time since a large part of the forecast area has seen lows in the 40s and 50s and maybe even upper 30s out there. But anyway, that's all I have for y'all today. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and y'all have a great Labor Day, everybody.